Hi guys, my first video in a long time. Basically just covering my Warhammer 40k terrain. Got back into Warhammer 40k about 3 months ago, and it's not long before you start creating a table and getting your terrain ready, so I just wanted to go through what I've managed to achieve here. So I started off with the table itself. As you can see, it's quite textured. Essentially what I use here is adhesive tile grout. So it's what you stick floor tiles down with, and it seems to give quite a good effect. So a couple of layers of black paint and then a dry brushing, and you get quite a nice effect. I envisage this being sort of dead earth or ash or even tarmac really, which is probably what I use it mainly for. There's 2 of them there. Basically they are loft boards, so they come in 1 foot by 4 foot, and got a whole stack of them here, all textured, all ready to be used, and the tongue and groove, I don't know whether you can see it here, helps it stay all solid and together. Right, so where's the start? Okay, so we've got a factory here. This is one of the biggest parts I've made, so you can see there's sort of corrugated steel that's rusted. They've got the same on the roof. There's a big sort of hole where something's hit it, or whatever was inside has exploded and destroyed half of it. I've got a tow pathfinder there to give a bit of scale. Now this is removable here, so you can sort of use the inside for a different purpose, but I think it's best if that's left in. So what you get then is a small platform for minis to go on. As you can see there, they can see out the window. That's a pretty flexible piece of terrain. What I've done is I've used the table, if you hadn't noticed, with it being black and textured, as tarmac, and the terrain itself has got this sort of path that goes around it. All the pieces have the same sort of curved look to them, and that sort of gives the effect of there being roads running through it. I think it's worked quite nicely. It'll look much better when I've got more of them. Right, and here we've got sort of exploded fuel tanks, a small conduit of pipes there. A little bit of detail inside, which you can't really catch with this camera. And then really we've got my favourite piece, which is actually this. I think of it as a warehouse, but essentially it could be a bunker or either really. So you've got a big open hatch on the top. It's a fairly big piece. If I just get the camera there, you can see you can fit a whole sort of 40k squad in there, and they get protection from all 4 sides with only a limited amount of ways you can get in or out of. I'm not sure if this will be picked up, but there's a small window there. It's just sort of got smashed. Right, and here we've got fuel tank or some sort of chemical storage, and then a small shack next to it which would have been used for sort of storage, keep things out of the weather. Eventually I'm going to get some barrels which should arrive in the next few weeks, and some of those will go in there and they'll get scattered around. And the main thing I wanted with this terrain is to have to take advantage of the 6th edition rules essentially, and this is one of those pieces. So in 6th edition you've got mysterious water, and as you can see this is sort of pipework that's burst and spilled out this sort of bubbling, you can see the water effect there, seems to work quite well. Bubbling green goo, and then of course if someone goes into that then they have to roll off to see the effects of that in 6th edition. And the red barrels and this tank as well will be exploding, so anybody using them as cover has a chance of exploding. I also wanted to bring attention to these little barricades. Essentially the reason behind these is that because you've got sort of lines of fire down these roads, I wanted to add a sort of tactical advantage or aspect rather, where you can use the barricade to block a road. So if someone's bringing a tank down there, it becomes difficult terrain or even impassable for certain items, certain vehicles. To make these, essentially what I've got is I've got a piece of Forge World resin. Anyone who's bought a piece of Forge World kit will know that they come with these big blocks of resin at the bottom, so the sprue sort of sits on the top there. And this usually goes to waste, so what I've done is I've sort of put set of focus, put bullet holes on the front and taken chips out of it, and then stuck a bit more corrugated iron to the sides there, so it looks like it's been set up as a makeshift barricade, and there's a couple of these around. This one here has got foam bricks on the end there, which have just been textured and painted up. It seems to work quite well. Right, well that's it. I mean, I'm going to be adding more to it. Obviously new at this, so the camera work isn't great, but if anyone's got any suggestions or input of any kind, please let me know.